Well, I'm Alan Dale from Gale Force Winds, and here we are with the Atlantic Canadian Aerospace and Defence Association at their Maritime Arctic Safety and Security 2025 show. I want to tell you, good things are happening in this room, a lot of great conversations, a lot of collaboration. They understand that this is indeed the gateway to the Arctic. Thank you very much to our friends at the Ship Stop Here initiative for bringing this conversation to life. They understand as well that good things are happening in Newfoundland and Labrador, planting a flag and saying things need to happen here as well. And on that note, why don't you introduce yourself, tell us what you do.
Great, thanks Alan. My name is Tom Dunne. I'm an associate consultant with CFN Consultants, and I'm here representing a few companies that are doing great things both with Newfoundland and the Arctic in general.
Talk to me a little bit about the companies. Let's start with one of them right out of the gate.
Well, I'd like to really highlight Xylem. They're an incredible UK-based company, but they're part of a NATO Diana. You've heard that term, I'm sure, many times. They're part of that innovation network. They were selected out of 2,000 companies to become one of the few that were in an accelerator program. They're just coming to the end of phase one of that accelerator program, and they've used it to springboard into a bunch of different NATO exercises and opportunities where they can test and trial their technology. So I know you've interviewed them in the past. One, it's really camera-based artificial intelligence. So it's taking any camera, agnostic of what that is, looking overboard and seeing for a person in the water, either somebody falling overboard as one potential test case, or doing a search and rescue mission trying to find somebody, or also watching for something approaching that's unexpected.
Mm-hmm. Now, from the last time we discussed this company, or they discussed their product, AI is advancing. How are they keeping up?
Yeah, well, they're advancing by ingesting more of that information. So all of the information that they're using helps to make their AI smarter. So initially they had over 6 million images of a person in the water they were using to be able to identify a person in the water. And that's every orientation, all sorts of clothing, laying flat, vertical, upside down, small child to a large person in immersion suits and life jackets. And they've ingested all of that into their model, and it keeps learning now. It takes more and more information in. So they've improved it that way, but the other way they've improved it now with NATO's help is to take it into new directions. So where initially it's actually deployed on a cruise ship for a man overboard on the Ambassador Ambition line of cruise ships, or that ship. It's also deployed in the North Sea on an oil rig right now for that man overboard idea, but it's now taking it with NATO's help into the defense world, looking at what's approaching a vessel and trying to help as a formal naval officer, that the security of that vessel, whether moving, what's coming in front, or when you're stationary, having a good idea for something approaching and being able to tell whether that's a threat or not.
There'll be a lot of sailors out there right now that have to stand at port lookout watch. Be happy to hear this. They'd be very happy to hear what we're talking about. The company sounds amazing, and so they're in this NATO Diana network. And that's talk to me a little bit about that experience for the company.
Sure. They applied and got in initially under phase one. They're actually applying for phase two at the moment. But it takes a company and it gives them mentorship. It gives them opportunities. It gives them some funding, but mostly it's the ability to shepherd their ideas in the right direction, take it to the right NATO exercises, expose it to the right people to be able to develop it and bring it on further. And one really exciting part of that for locally, the launch. You were there yesterday, I believe.
I wasn't at it, but were they at it there?
They weren't at it, but we've actually had within through NATO Diana, there's an opportunity to use a test site for future testing, and they now have just gotten approval just this week for €100,000 to help advance some of their systems at the launch. So there should be a trial later this year with their technology here at Holyrood.
Sounds like a game changer for a company like that to be involved in something like this.
It would, it certainly is a game changer. I mean, they're excellent tech. They're going places regardless, but it is an accelerator. It helps them be exposed to the right people at the right time, the right places with some funding to move it forward.
What other companies are you involved with?
So there's several other companies, but here in St. John's, Cal Group of the construction, they're doing fantastic things both in Nova Scotia and here in St. John's. Lots of experience in the maritime industry, and they're continuing to expand their defense portfolio.
Right.
They're a great company here as well. And another UK-based company, Marble, is getting into UAVs, low-cost ISR, which is intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. Looking over right now, they've got a contract to film and monitor the Greenland ice cap for changes in the ice and the ice flow, and they're now taking that to try and understand the Arctic and deployments in the Arctic and how they can better help us have better eyes on in the Arctic.
A lot of talk about defense spending right now, not only in Canada but sort of across all of our NATO partners. How do you see that playing out? Are you starting to see it affect the ecosystem already, or is it still early days?
I think it's generally a lot of excitement, that's for sure. When you see for something like the attendance at an event like this and the opportunities, there's a lot of people seeing the opportunities. So we just have to ensure that we enable the government to use the right funding vehicles at the right time in the right way, especially where there's already an existing funding vehicle that can have a quick spend, or take advantage of those innovation programs that allow sort of a quick research and move things forward. So a lot of excitement.
And MASS, how was MASS for you?
MASS is great. It's it's a collection of people. My background, if you remember, was search and rescue. So love the idea of the North. I've flown all over the North and doing rescue missions. The idea of this focus and the concentration on how we can better work in the North and better work with the North for a safety and security lens is fantastic.
Yeah, companies are lucky to have you, I can tell you that. And thanks very much for coming on the show, giving us your perspective.
Thank you very much, Alan. Appreciate it.